Welcome, my friends of the interwebs, coming at you from my iPhone 6, which I think is still shaking a little bit. It is, in fact. Oh my god, that ain't gonna work, is it? Fuck. I'm gonna move this tripod over just a hair because it's hitting the bench. Alright, yeah, well, just one of the many reasons I really don't want to have to use the iPhone 6 to run my media empire. I want to give you guys an update. Please pay attention to this. And if you are one of the people who chipped in to save my ass, watch this video because there's going to be a message for you. All right. So for those of you who watched the video where my 70D took a shit, and I needed to raise a few funds to fix it. Yeah, this is an update. So I sent it off to Canon last Saturday, today being Friday, and they got it Tuesday morning at 9 a.m. and then, I guess it was Wednesday, they contacted me with an estimate of what the repair was going to be, and I was expecting around $300. That was not what I got. What I got was a repair bill of $450. Now, that Canon 70D is not an entry-level DSLR by any stretch of imagination. It's a mid-range EOS. It's not a Rebel, it's an EOS. Mid-range, you could buy the body now, though, for like $1,000. Just body only. No batteries, no lenses or anything like that. Which even today, even though it's a couple years old now, well, not my camera, but that series of cameras is a little older now. It's still not cheap. It's still not an entry-level DSLR. Anyway, so $450, which was almost half the amount of money it would have cost to buy a brand new one, kind of pissed me off when the camera was only 16 months old. For those of you who've asked, there was a year warranty. There's a year warranty on Canon products or cameras. I don't know about their products, but their cameras. A year warranty. And so this was 4 months past the warranty. All right, so yeah, I was not happy about the $450 that they wanted to charge me to fix what they called. Well, initially they didn't even tell me what it was. They just said part was like almost $200, and labor was like $208, and then the tax I think was 30 something. It came out to just a hair under $450, I believe. But anyway, I asked them what the part was, because when I called them to bitch and moan, which I did, I called them and bitched and moaned. That's exactly what I did. I bitched and moaned. The part was a PC PC main battery board, something or another. Anyway, it doesn't matter. Yeah, but the $200 labor was kind of what pissed me off the most, because to me, that was gouging. And in the estimate, it said non-warranty labor, I guess it was labor costs or whatever, $200, $208. I was pissed. I actually copied and pasted the text of that message to my Facebook. So if you guys are on my Facebook, just scroll down, you'll find it. I was pissed because I felt like, first of all, yeah, no, I will say part of this is my fault. I did not pay for an extended warranty, but I let myself off the hook somewhat on that because of two things. One, Costco never offered to sell me an extended warranty, and I'd never had a DSLR before, but I had two Canon cameras before that, and to be honest with you, they were both still working, and they'd been working for a long time. So, yeah. Oh, and by the way, why am I not using, if you could see this setup, which you can't see, I've actually got my iPhone attached to this clamp thing that's actually sitting on top of my Canon Vixia. The reason I'm not using my Canon Vixia to film this is because I had loaned this camera to CC Gray, which she did give it back to me, but when she gave it back to me, she forgot to give me the power cord, and I don't have an external battery charger, so I would charge the batteries with the cord. And it has been, Cece's in school now, and she works, and it's just been really difficult to get with her to get that cord back. So I basically have a Vixia with no way to charge the battery. It's dead. But right now it's doing a fine job of holding the clamp that's holding my iPhone 6. Yeah. Anyway, blah, blah, blah. So I was pissed off at Canon. and I made a bit of noise with them. And I called and I said, this is unacceptable. This is ridiculous. The camera is basically a new camera. Because, if you think about it, I didn't use that camera every day like it was some kind of, I don't have although I call myself a production company, it's not like I'm shooting footage every single day. It's whenever I get with these girls, whether it's, Cambria or Cece or Julia, it's whenever I get with them, it's usually only being used 2 times a week, 3 times a week at the most. And that's only like an hour or 2 or 3 at the most. So, yeah, it wasn't like this camera had been run into the dirt. If that would have been the case, I wouldn't have been so upset about it. But I was upset. So I called them, and I don't want to say I went off on them, but I definitely expressed my concern. And I did call their $200 service charge obscene. I did call it that, and it's what it was obscene. It's outrageous, period. Anyway, so at that point they said, well, we will knock off $100 off of that outrageously obscene service fee. And I'm like, well, all right, so that takes it down to like $350, and that's only $50 more than I thought it was going to cost me. I wasn't happy about that, but it was like, well, what are you going to do? I don't have a warranty to it, and it is what it is. So I'm like, okay. So I went ahead and I paid them, used my my debit card that's attached to my checking account to pay them. And, yeah, thankfully, a lot of you guys had chipped in and sent me money, which was cool. And I'll get to that in a minute. So, all right, then I got a message from this person from Canon, my friend from Canon. I can't remember, Stephanie, I think, or Stefan, or Stefan, I don't know. Anyway, and they said, hey, we noticed that it was resolved by phone, but if you ever need anything, let us know. And I said, and then I responded back to that. I said, look, I wouldn't call this resolved. I said, I still feel like I've been bent over, and the truth of the matter is it's basically a new camera that's not been dropped. It's basically been babied, and I'm not happy about this. I said, I basically feel like dropping the $100 off of the outrageous $200 was just basically, adding a little KY to the situation. But anyway, I said to the guy or woman, whichever one it was, I said, look, I will be trying to make my money back on AdSense by making video after video after video of about my camera and what I thought was being, that was being mistreated by Canon, and that they weren't standing behind their products and da-da-da-da-da-da. And I said, I think I'm going to start by posting the first one on the Crystal Blade channel with its 32,000 subscribers and over 8 million views. Now, yeah, maybe that was me being kind of a dick, but the truth is I felt fucked over. I really did. Whether there's validity in that or not doesn't matter, because that's how I felt. So, so that person sent me back an email, a response to that, and said, look, we would like to make this right with you. And if it's your, to your liking, we'd like to start a refund process to refund you your money. All of it. And I'm like, well, that's a step in the right direction. I mean, how can you complain if now it's not going to cost me anything to get my camera fixed? So which brings me to the people who helped me out. Now, listen, guys, some of you that didn't get what was going on at the picture, maybe I didn't explain myself correctly. I've been on YouTube for 8, 9 years, long freaking time. And I've never, ever, ever asked for anything for myself. I have asked plenty for other people. Like when Haas USMC was trying to raise $10,000 to make a documentary, I shouted him out. I shared that video on my Facebook. I had, I don't remember which chick it was that works with me, but one of them made a video response, kind of a shout out on her channel, and I sent them $50. Okay. Crystal Blade, when she needed money and ammo to go to James Yeager's shooting class, yeah, I helped her raise that money. None of any of that ever went into my pocket. Okay, so I raised a lot of money for a lot of people. This time I was in kind of a jam, and the reason I was in a jam was twofold. One was I was in the middle of, not even in the middle, really the beginning of pre-production of a full-featured film that I'm actually directing. I wrote the film, or the screenplay I wrote. I'm directing it, producing it, and it's legit. I mean, and seriously. And over the last, some of you know, in the last couple of years, I have amassed equipment here and there, like the Zoom H6 recorder, boom poles, Rode mics. I got the Rode, I think the NGT2 or 3. I don't remember which one I got now. And then I've got I've got a bunch of equipment. And the last piece of equipment that I bought recently was this lens, and this was $900. So the timing was the issue. It wasn't that I was broke. It was that I was kind of temporarily in a bad spot. And the camera was a big deal. Ordinarily, I would have just let it go. I would have used my Vixia or whatever for however long until I could get that financing or the financial ability to pay it. But here was the problem. I was in a jam financially at that particular moment in time. And then on top of that, because I was in pre-production for this film that I'm making, this movie I'm making, I needed my DSLR badly. I mean, believe me, I needed it badly. So I was really in a jam, and that's why I asked for the help. But I do want to say, now Canon tells me it can take up to 2 billing cycles for that money to show back up into my account. The minute that it does, every single person who sent me money to fix my camera, every one of you, you're getting your money sent back to you. Every one of you. I can't tell you how much I appreciate you stepping up and helping me. It makes me feel good to know that I have friends out there or people who care enough to where, hey, Colonel's in a jam. Let's step up and help him. And I really, really, really super appreciate that, guys. So off the top of my head, Salty Shellback, Kentucky Colonel Extraordinaire. Jeff Smith, Kentucky Colonel Extraordinaire. Also, Salty Shellback and Jeff Smith is actually Cutlery Lover. Gary Jordan. Oh, God, I don't even want to go down this list here. Here's what I'm going to do for you guys. I'm going to send your money back as soon as I get it. And then I'm going to, in my movie, you will have a credit. Each one of you will have a credit in the movie as probably a special thanks credit. So you'll see as the credits roll at the end, special thanks, because you guys were an important part of keeping this thing rolling. Right now I'm casting for the roles, and it's important to have that DSLR functioning right now. We're hoping to start. Not auditions. I don't know why I keep thinking auditions. Rehearsals by the middle of this month, and then, God willing, we'll be actually filming the first scenes at the end of the month. A lot of it depends on when this corn turns. I don't want to tell you too much about the story, but there's a cornfield that's involved. If we start filming now, the corn's still green, but it won't be green all that much longer. So we're kind of like holding off a little bit until it starts to turn brown. When it starts turning brown, we're good as far as filming goes. But this is going to be a real film with a lighting, camera guy, director of photography, sound guy, boom pole operator, the whole 9 yards. It's going to be a whole deal. I'm going to be directing it. So let me get to the people who do not get honorable mentions. I'm not going to waste too much time on the negative. But some of you, I can only refer to you as parasites. Okay, let me explain to you something. Let me explain something to you guys. This, what you see right here, and this is not every lens that I own. Just happened to be the lenses that were in my camera bag sitting next to this bench. This represents, I don't know, $2,000, maybe a little over $2,000 of investment, okay, in lenses. All right. My Rode not my Rode, but my Zoom H6 recorder was hundreds of dollars. My Rode mic was hundreds of dollars. I have invested a shit ton of money in producing content for YouTube. Content that everybody gets to enjoy for free. So basically, here's the deal. I put money into this project, I put money into the content, and you get to sit there with your bowl of popcorn or your Cheetos, and you get to enjoy that. Now, having said that, if you're one of the people who support my channel by not only viewing the videos, but also thumbing them up, sharing them, commenting on them, that's always helping the channel out. God bless you. God bless you. And I'm not even really mad at the people who don't support the channel by, rating it thumbs up and sharing it and commenting. I'm not mad at you people at all. What I am mad at is the people who do nothing, contribute zero, other than they're parasites, You know, they take all the free entertainment that we spend so much money to make and our time and our effort. Okay, they take in all that entertainment and they enjoy the shit out of it. But the minute you need something, oh, you're an e-beggar. You're a beggar. You're nothing but a beggar. You got guns and gear. You ought to sell the guns and gear before you come asking us for money. You're fucking parasites. That's exactly what you are. If you're one of the fucking handful, and thankfully it was just a handful, and those people promptly got dismissed from this channel. You know, the one thing I will tell you, I really wish that YouTube would allow you to block people from viewing your shit. I mean, everybody. But you know, for right now, you can take and you can make a YouTube video private, or you can make it unlisted and only send it to certain people. I don't really like that. Okay, and right now you can actually make it to where people are shadow banned, which means they're commenting on your channel, but nobody sees their comments except for them, which I actually really dig that. But to be honest with you, the ultimate would be, because a couple of people who called me a beggar, I would love to have blocked them from ever watching another minute of my content that I spend money and effort and time and the whole 9 yards making. I would love to have been like, that's how you feel about me? You think I'm a beggar, huh? Okay. You will never, ever, ever, ever again get to watch one of my videos. Because they're parasites. That's exactly what they are. And listen, you've heard this from other people. James Yeager made a big thing. I'm not a beggar. You know, he's right. He's not a beggar. He gives out good information. He gives out good content. And people enjoy that. And you know what? You know, I mean, look, I'm not saying anybody owes me anything for making videos. But what I am saying is, if you're going to enjoy my content and you're too damn lazy to give it a thumbs up or to even if you hated it, you could, you know, any interaction would help. You could have gave it a thumbs down. But you're too lazy to do any interactions with it to help me. You can't bother to share my stuff to your Facebook fans, but you watch every video. Okay, but then you turn around and call me a fucking beggar? Really? As much as I've done for the community, that's what you do? You fucking parasite. You know, and I got it. When James Yeager made his video talking about that, I totally got it. I completely understand it. You know, and us that make content, you know, we're happy that people watch our videos, and we're happy for people that are supportive in the ways. There's people, listen, there are people who can't afford to pay the content providers. They can't afford to you know, they just can't. They don't have any money. Right now, I couldn't afford to support anybody because I'm trying to do this project. But the truth of the matter is that we video creators, the people who produce these videos at our own cost, we're totally cool with you not being able to financially support us. But don't slam us and don't call us names when you think that, you know, whatever. You know, I mean, and I know that most of the 99% of the people who pull that shit, who throw words around like e-beggar and crap like that, I know that 99% of those people don't make videos. They don't go out and they don't buy cameras, they don't buy equipment, they don't buy editing software, they don't spend hours of their time creating content for other people to enjoy. They don't do any of that. They're just assholes. Okay? But every now and again you see somebody that you know goddamn well, you know, and maybe they're pissed off for different reasons. Maybe it's because their mothers didn't let them suckle. I don't fucking know. You know? And it may be because they know that they don't have content that anybody really cares about, or they can't get subscribers, or they can't get views, or any of that bullshit. You know? But it did kind of bother me, the couple of people. I mean, don't get me wrong. When I say bother me, it didn't bother me. The truth is I expected that. In fact, there was a lot less name calling than I thought there would be. You know, I thought for sure, because I know some of the usual suspects who get all bent out of shape when anybody tries to raise money to do anything. You know, and by the way, and I'm not saying that I'm fucking Quentin fucking Tarantino, but you know what? He's never made a movie one out of his pocket. Ever. Ever. He didn't make Reservoir Dogs out of his pocket. He didn't make fucking Pulp Fiction out of his pocket. You can't make a film out of pocket. A real film. You can't do it. It takes help, you know, whether that's, you know, a teenage filmmaker that's making short films and he gets his mom and dad to help him out, you know, or whether it's a young college filmmaker that's doing a little bit better than that, and he's doing a Indiegogo or Kickstarter or something like that. It is not possible to make films out of pocket at all. So for those people who get all bent, even like Haas USMC, I mean, you know, he's asking for 10 grand to do his documentary. To be honest with you, you can't shoot a documentary for 10 grand. Clerks. Jeff Smith, the director who wrote, directed, produced Clerks, that was done in what, 95 or something, and that still cost him $7,000 to make, and he used all of his friends in it. It wasn't like he had, named actors or anything. These were his friends. It still cost $7,000 to make Clerks. It launched his career and it worked out. Just like, I don't remember how much it cost Tarantino to make Reservoir Dogs. I think he had $500,000 to do that. It's kind of a fascinating story if you look it up. But, still, $500,000, you think that's a lot of money. Guess what? When you start renting equipment and this and that, no. And he paid, there's a scene in Reservoir Dogs where there's a cop tied to a chair. I can't think of the actor's name, but he's a really awesome actor. He does this little dance and he cuts the cop's ear off and stuff. And he did it to the song Stuck in the Middle with You. Tarantino paid $13,000 just to use that one song. It costs money. It does. It costs money. I know a lot of you people who are just haters, who just hate on everything. You don't get it. You never will get it. But let me just say this. Let me just end with this. If you're watching my content, okay, I don't care which channel. I don't care if it's the Crystal Blade channel. I don't care if it's Julia Steele's channel. I don't care if it's Mad Bad Voodoo's channel or Colonel Richard Hunter's channel. If you're watching my content and you're enjoying, and here's the thing: if you watch me because you hate me and that's the story, well, okay, whatever. I guess a view's a view. But if you're watching my content and you enjoy my content, share it. Make sure you go out of your way to give it a thumbs up. I'm not saying you have to send me money, okay? But what I am saying is that if I do ask for money and you can possibly help and you've been watching and enjoying my content, then find it in your heart to throw $1 at me. $1, less than you would cost you for a candy bar. It is what it is. But anyway, getting back to those who helped me, and this will be the last thing I say. To those of you who helped me, you will be getting your money back, and I don't know if it's this month or next month, but you will be getting your money back. And I want to thank you from the bottom of my heart for helping me out of that jam. I was in a ditch. I put the car in a ditch. You helped push it out. Awesome. You guys are fucking awesome. So you'll get your money back, but you will also get a credit in my movie because you deserve that. I may even actually do a shout out once I get my Canon 70D back. Now, they just sent me a message today saying that it was fixed. And then they said that this was an automated phone call. They said that they would send me another one when they shipped it. So with any luck, seeing now it's a long weekend, I don't know. It'd be nice if they got it in the mail today, but I did not get that call. They're probably 100% not working tomorrow or Sunday and probably Monday. So they probably won't ship it till Tuesday. They ship it second day. So I hope to get it back on Thursday. I'm going to start introducing some of my stars, the stars of my film. I'm going to start introducing some of them. I think you'll like it. I'm not going to tell too much about the story, but, that's a whole another video. But I will tell you guys some stuff. Anyway, everybody, like I said, the guys who helped me out, you guys are fucking awesome. And to those of you who helped me out by watching, sharing, rating, commenting, you guys are fucking awesome. For those of you who watch my videos and enjoy my videos but don't manage to do any of that stuff, I kind of wish you would. For those of you who watch my videos, enjoy my videos, but then call me a piece of shit beggar when I needed a little help, fuck you. And if I could ban you from this channel, I would. Everybody take care. See ya!